So it begins. We're going to be here continuously for, I'd say, the next 16 hours or so. So we might as well just sit in and kind of get used to what is happening. And at this point in time, I'm sure you had a lot of alerts on your phone, and those alerts can get your attention. And you know what? That's the point of them. Because at this point in time, the Weather Service issued a hurricane warning for our immediate area. Now, what does that mean? Well, we're already seeing this area, this first band, if you will, of some pretty decent rain down across Sarasota County. That is only the beginning. But at the end of the day, over the last couple of days, we've been saying, what, 60, 65 mile an hour winds for this area as it comes in. Well, now the forecast, it's 70. And what does that actually mean? Recon's flying around. The Air Force, the recon planes are flying around in here, and they found a little area of wind about 70 miles an hour. That does not mean the entire area here has 70 mile an hour winds. It has tropical storm force winds. In fact, matter of fact, tropical storm force winds only extend about 70 miles out of the center, so it's pretty compact. Now, as it moves north, there's a lot of shear going on. It's going to limit that strengthening. But my message here is when you're watching and you hear 60 or 65 mile an hour winds, you should not be any more concerned at 70 than 60 or 75 even. I mean, 10, 15 miles an hour is not going to be a huge difference, but it is in the world of weather. It changes the categorization from tropical storm to hurricane. You hear hurricane, you start to get nervous, and with good reason, because obviously a major storm coming this way would be a big concern. This is not a major storm. This is a tropical storm that is getting stronger, and along the coast, we are still extremely concerned about the surge issues. So, a lot of colors here. Let's break it down for you. First and foremost, the first one that gets your attention is the red one. That's the hurricane warning. In reality, what does that mean? It means there's a pretty good chance that along the coastal areas, there will be a few spots that could see winds gusting up to about 75 miles an hour, maybe even a little more in a few spots. They will be very isolated. Most of us will have winds at about 50 to 60 miles an hour, which is no picnic, mind you. But remember, it is not the kind of wind that can produce structural damage. And we're going to have a lot of time to go over all of this. And mobile homes are a really big question because people who live in mobile homes close to the coast where you're looking 50, 55 miles an hour, that's kind of dicey. And a lot of folks even don't like to stay put when you're talking about a 50 or a 55 mile an hour wind. So that's what we're looking at for the coastal areas. That's with the wind. And then as you go into the blue area, that's a tropical storm warning. That means winds expected of about maybe 45 to 55. Gusts will be higher. But at the end of the day, when you hear the word hurricane, and there's certainly a decent chance this is upgraded to a hurricane at some point, remember, all that means is that that plane is flying through and found a small area with hurricane force winds. We will see if that strength changes anymore. And what's been going on now for days, our biggest concern, at least in terms of damage, would be the water. Because when you get winds from a tropical storm, you might have some trees down. It can happen. It happens with our thunderstorms in the afternoon, right? You can have some issues with your pool cages. You can have some things blown around. But this water is no joke, and we all remember that seeing pictures or living through it with Tropical Storm Eta. So areas that flooded with Eta certainly are looking at the possibility of flooding with this storm as well. Difference is the tide will be about a foot, foot and a half lower with this storm, Elsa, than it was with Eta, but it's a strengthening system. So, you know, I think a storm surge of 3 to 4 feet along the coast is a pretty good possibility, and that is something that you do not want to mess around with. Timing of that overnight tonight between around 1 a.m. and 6 a.m. Now, there's obviously a flood watch in effect for everybody just because of the heavy rain we've already had over the last several weeks. So there will be some areas, the usual spots, if you will, that see heavy flooding. We'll continue to see that again later on tonight and into tomorrow. All right. Right off the bat, you can see what we're talking about. When you think of a classic hurricane, you think of a buzzsaw, right? You think of that spin and all of the heavy wind is right around the center. Well, there's your center, and there's the weather. There is nothing west of it. There's nothing northwest of it. There's nothing southwest of it. All of the bad weather is in the northeast section. So this is what's coming our way. Again, it is not a big area of hurricane force winds. It's tropical storm force winds with some embedded areas that could see gusts at about 70. Remember, when you see this number, that is maximum sustained winds detected by the recon. That is not the entire area. Important to remember. And we don't want to downplay this by any stretch of the imagination, but at the same time, when people hear hurricane, their stress mode goes from a 3 to an 8. right? And in this case, what we're looking at is a similar situation to what we were preparing for the last couple of days. I mean, yes, it's about 10, maybe 15 degrees stronger, and maybe a little closer to the coast. So coastline area, if I had to compare it to something, remember what we had with Irma, right? Down south, they had a lot more. What did we have? 60, 65-mile-an-hour winds along the coast, more inland, which will not be the case in Polk County. Polk County had 100-mile-an-hour winds with Irma, but we had about 60, 65. There were some power outages for a couple of days. Maybe some trees come down. Not widespread, but that is going to be what we expect tonight and into the overnight hours. So when you look at this track, we're kind of always going to look in the middle. That's just what we do, right? This is something you just can't do with the storm because there's no center. This is not like a little buzzsaw coming in that's going to make a landfall in the Big Bend area because all of the weather is north and east of the center. So we're looking at heavy rainfall for about 6 hours at any point in time. We're looking for the possibility of some isolated tornadoes. I think that's going to happen. We're going to have that surge issue, but the surge will not happen with the heavy weather. The surge will happen after the heavy weather comes by. I say, how in the world does that happen? Center of circulation, wherever it is. If it passes right here, where's most of the weather? Off to the north. But the winds don't change onshore until it passes. So that means the much higher likelihood of that surge will be once, believe it or not, the winds and the rain start to die down. And then the water will start to rise. And that is overnight tonight into first thing in the morning. FUTURECAST, 8 o'clock tonight. Pretty much our southern counties already in it. This would be winds of 40 to 50 miles an hour, gusts a little bit higher along the coast. Water will not be piling up yet. Water will not begin to push in until that center passes wherever you live, east-west, latitudinally. So at this point, if there's your center by about 10 o'clock tonight, then you would start to see areas south of Venice with that onshore flow. Everywhere else, it's blowing out. Matter of fact, remember with Irma, when all the water blew out of Tampa Bay? It's not going to be like that. This is a tropical storm or maybe even a minimal hurricane. But the point is, the water will be pushing away, so we will not have a surge issue. So then we go up to midnight, and then that center is probably right about here. So south of that, Bradenton, Sarasota, Siesta Key, you'll start to see that water come in. It's still blowing out from Pinellas and Hillsborough, Pasco County north. And then by 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, there's your center. That's when I think we start worrying about the issues for surge. If there's your center, the rain is winding down. Still pretty gusty out there, but the wind comes onshore. So unfortunately, that coincides with the high tide, which is between about 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock in the morning, depending on where you live. Again, if you live inland, this is not pertaining you. This is only pertaining to the folks along the coast where that water could come in. If you flooded in Ada, there's a decent chance you could flood again with Elsa. By 4 o'clock this morning, there's your center. So everywhere south of it is where that onshore flow will be coming in, and Spring Hill, Inverness, Brooksville, areas to the north, it's still all pushing out. And then by tomorrow morning, it starts to accelerate north and landfall. Again, it's kind of a moot point because there's really not a center to this thing, but landfall will make somewhere around the Big Bend area, and things will quickly wind down. So that is your timing. That's the way we see things playing out right now. In terms of the spaghetti models, at this point, this one's almost useless. We can take this one out of our show because we really don't even need spaghetti models anymore. We kind of know where it's going. The Euro, in terms of the winds, the same thing, about 40 to 50 miles an hour. The GFS, probably about the same thing. You know, at some point, the GFS is a little bit low. The global models typically don't do quite as well when you nail down a wind event at this point in time. So I think more than anything, the new things that we have seen in the last hour, really in the last 20 minutes, the addition of the hurricane warnings along the coast. I've been really clear about that. I do not anticipate hurricane conditions for most of our area, but there will be a few spots that'll see gusts that high, so you've got to be prepared for it. Better safe than sorry, right? Tropical storm force winds, the darker color. That's where these warnings are. Not including Polk County, Highlands, Harding, DeSoto. I will tell you, I would not be shocked if those counties also see tropical storm force winds. Remember, if they extend 70 miles out and your center's right about there, that's about 60 miles, maybe even less. So I think even our inland counties are going to get some winds of about 40 to 45 miles an hour about it. And again, in terms of timing, the orange color, that's where the heaviest winds will be. It's kind of brushing the Sarasota coastline, coming pretty much right into the Tampa Bay area overnight. And then it begins, notice the heaviest offshore, which is what we're hoping, but that's a 10 or 15 mile stretch either way in terms of where this storm is going. Tornado watch means conditions are favorable. There's a meme out there, and I think it's a great meme. It's one where you see a tornado watch, and it shows all the tacos, and they're not put together. That's a watch. But when all those ingredients are put together into one taco, it becomes a warning. That's the difference. A watch means all the ingredients are out there for it to happen, but it isn't happening now. A warning means that it does. And lastly, rainfall totals. Maybe between about 2.5 and 4 inches of rain. As always is the case, there will be more than that as we head on into some areas, especially along the coast and also where the heaviest rains set up. So from now until whenever, Jason, myself, Greg, the rest of our ABC Action News team will be here kind of walking you through this step by step. We get it. It's a scary situation. But if you've been prepared over the last few days and you're thinking, I'm going to get 60, 65-mile-an-hour winds along the coast, you might not be that far off. Maybe a bit higher, but the preps will come in handy, and we'll be here right on through the afternoon, right on through the overnight to get you through this. Now let's head on back to Lauren.
All right. Thank you, Dennis.